I don't buy new cars, I don't buy brand names, I go to Goodwill for my clothes. I like to save money, I like to find bargains, it's the life I chose. I throw nothing away, I'll find a use another day for all this junk I keep. My neighbors all hate me, they abuse and berate me, 'cause I like doing it cheap. Yeah, I like doing it cheap. Welcome to another episode of Doing It Cheap.
Well, how y'all doing? It's PawPaw again. In my last video, I installed this 12-foot by 20-foot tarp on this little carport frame that some company had sent to me a few years ago to do a video review. And so I put this 12 mil tarp on here. But for those of you that didn't see the last episode, basically what was wrong was this tarp was quite a bit bigger than the one I took off. We had excess over here. And so I put the word out to all my viewers, how would you fix this? I'm going to show you something here. Whew. So, like I say, it's a little bit long over here. So bear with me, stick around. I got this on because dadgum, it's cold out here. But please indulge me for about a minute. I'm gonna have a little blurb here about Karen down there at GetHappyHemp.com. She's a super nice lady and has really supported this channel. So it only lasts about a minute. And we'll be back, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you all the suggestions, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to fix this problem. We ain't going to have that no more. We'll be right back. Hey folks, I want to talk to you for just a minute about the fine people down there at GetHappyHemp.com. Karen is one of the owners of GetHappyHemp.com. And if y'all are interested in them CBD infused gummies, which is how PawPaw can go up and down the ladder all the time without pain, you know, if you're interested in being pain free like I am, I'll be 65-year-old this year, and I feel good. I do. I feel a lot better than I felt in a long time. And check them out. If you use the discount code Doing It Cheap 30. Did I do that right? Yeah, Doing It Cheap 30. You will get a 30% discount. That way they know old PawPaw sent you. That's GetHappyHemp.com. And now back to the show. And we're back. Okay. Well, it's a couple days later and it's warmer out here. I got here and measured this, and the best I can figure, this thing is about 12 inches too long. So, I studied on this, and I studied on this, and I studied on this. It was real cold, and it was raining, so I didn't have nowhere to go. And I wasn't going to get out here and work on this. And I said, well, maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Instead of looking at this and saying, this tarp is too long, maybe I'll be looking at it and saying that this carport is too narrow. So what if this thing, this roof line, was 12 inches longer? So that's what I am going to do. I'm going to make this thing 12 inches longer. Now, I went to Lowe's to get me a piece of 1-inch conduit, and it's over $2 a foot. And I'm going, holy crap. You know, because I had some outstanding suggestions. I had people saying, get you a couple of 10-foot sticks of conduit, you know, put between the posts, tie down to that. I had another guy that says, get you a 20-foot piece of rebar and tie to these posts, and then tie this on down to that rebar. I had people saying lace rope in there and tie it off here, there, wherever. And they were all good suggestions. But the situation we have with something like this is, like you saw a few minutes ago, these things can belly up and get full of water. And I noticed that on the other side wasn't a drop, because the tarp comes shy of the pipe. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. I want this tarp to be shy of the pipe. It's about 11 inches. Might have to pull it a little bit. Yeah. Well, I'm going to start at 12. We're going to see what we end up with. So what I did is I bought, even though I'd rather have metal conduit, I bought a piece of Schedule 40. This is about an inch and a quarter outside diameter, and this is 1 inch, or anyway, whatever it was, 1 3/8, and this is 1 1/4 inches, whatever. Anyway, it's called 1 inch, Schedule 40. What I'm going to do is, this is 5 foot 60 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it, throw it on the ground, pick it back up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into 3 20-inch pieces. I'll be right back. So there's my 3 20-inch pieces. Now, I got to get this tarp out of the way, because I don't want to cut it, you know, with my hacksaw or anything, because I'm going to cut this off right about there. I'm going to measure up 6 inches on this pipe, and I'm going to cut it. Before I do that, I'll mark it. And I'll mark it for some holes, and I will drill holes in here for my bolts, and I stick that pipe in there, drill through that, and we'll have this sucker extended. So let me get with it. Now the reason I chose 6 inches is because this pipe slips up in here about that far. So cut that at 6 inches, I'm gonna still have a good 4 inches inside that pipe. And there's not a tremendous amount of flex that's going to go on with this. So now let me mark that for my holes. I think I'm going to put a bolt right about there. And we'll come up here about there. Okay. Now I have some 1/4-20 bolts. So let me get a drill and drill this out. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing there. There. Okay, I've got a 1/4-inch drill bit. And I also grabbed, just in case, a 9/32, just in case the threads on them bolts push that out a little bit. Apparently, this bit has been used before. So we'll go with a 9/32. Yeah, the end of this has been overheated. But oh boy, in Ohio, one of my viewers, his YouTube name is Heaven Help Us. And he won an electric drill on one of my giveaways. And he contacted me and he said, "PawPaw, I never did get that drill." I contacted the factory rep and they said, "We'll send him another." So in the time he was waiting to get his second one, his first one arrived. And he said, "What can I do with this?" I said, "Well, if you'd send it to me, I'd pay the postage." So he said, "All right, I will." In the meantime, it was one stream of bad luck after the other. Anyway, finally, he was able to get the post office and send it to me. He sent me an email. He says, "PawPaw, you ain't gonna believe this." He said, 2 days after I sent that drill off, or maybe it's 1 day, he said, "I went to use mine and it started smoking and just burnt plumb up." I said, "Oh man, sorry to hear that." I didn't say another word. So then he said, you ought to get it any day. I said, all right, that's cool. Well, as luck would have it, I just happened to be pulling out of my driveway when the mailman was coming up the road. And I stopped because usually I just get out and let him hand me my mail instead of me having to dig it out of the box. He says, I got a package for you. I said, okay, I'm pretty sure I know who that is. And I says, is it so-and-so? He said, yeah. I said, if I refuse to accept that package, will you send it back to the guy that sent it to me? He said, yeah, that's what we do. I said, all right, I refuse it. I do not accept it. So he said, all right. So I sent it back to the old boy, and you know, maybe he can get a little bit of use out of the second one. Oh, okay. Now we're going to insert this pipe in here for the fit. Boy, I couldn't pick the one that fit any tighter, I'll tell you that. Huh. 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 Hmm. Four and an eighth. Four and an eighth. And another 12. Now, even though I could take a hammer and drive that on in there, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sandpaper and sand that down a little bit so I can get it back out if I need to. So the plan was to slide it up in this pipe, stick it down in here, and then basically just let them sit there together, you know, compressed, so I can work all the rest of them. But nothing ever works the way it's planned. Do you notice that? Oh, crap. Sandpaper, where's the sandpaper? Well, I didn't find my sandpaper, but I found my bench sander, belt sander, disc sander, whatever. We'll see if that'll work. All right, go. Well, you never can plan nothing for it to come out right. Like I said, I don't want to sand that whole thing down, just so I can slide it in and out of that pipe. I got to unhook it here eventually anyway. So we'll just cut her loose. Bring this thing out here. shit. Try some more. Now, I don't want any possible sharp edges on here to worry a hole in this tarp in the wind. So I'm gonna put some tape over here, just in case. That's one down, 2 to go. Well, I'm not going to bore you making you watch me do this 2 more times. We'll come back when I'm ready to stretch it and put the bungees on it. Oops, there it is. All right. Maybe we won't have a bunch of water standing on it now, huh? See a gap there, that'll let the water run off instead of bellying on it. Well, folks, that's another project done. Doing it cheap. The piece of pipe was $7.77 plus tax, and the nuts and bolts was $1.05 tax included. Well, $7.77 was tax included, and $1.05 was tax included. So it cost me $8.80 something cents. A little bit of black tape, so it's, we'll call it $9 versus spending $40 on a piece of conduit or rebar, and then hell, having to buy clamps for that. So I like the way this turned out. it took me quite a bit of head scratching. And I mean, we all look at it and automatically just think, well, that tarp is too long. But the tarp wasn't too long. The carport was too narrow. Well, I want y'all to know I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching my videos. We'll try to get some interesting content coming up pretty soon. And I've got a couple of palette tools that I want to demonstrate, and that's got some pretty neat projects coming. Well, thank y'all very much. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hey, hit that subscribe button down there, would you, and that little bell? It'd help me an awful lot.